Elder Pingree. Nobody could beat Elder Pingree up here. What? Cordell? Okay. I have here magic bell, magic timer. When you hear it, you got 5 seconds, okay?
I'm Cordell Anderson. I served in Central America from 56 to 58. This has got to be quick. 45 years ago, I was asked to present the program at this missionary reunion. Does anybody remember being here at that? It was in October of '66. Anybody? There are a few. It turned into one interesting experience. I talked about problems that we could do something about in Guatemala in particular. There seemed to be some concerns about trying to do that. One, I didn't have enough education. Another one, I needed $100,000 at least. I had some solutions to those problems. But most seemed to be very supportive of the idea of doing something. It seemed to be among many missionaries from my time that we had this feeling that we had to keep being involved. Well, after that experience, I decided it was time for me to stop talking and to go. 6 months later, 7 months later, I packed up my family and saying goodbye to my parents, and Sister Cannon from the famous Cannon family in the church. She came out from next door and she laughed. She said, "I'll give you 6 months and you'll come running home with your tail between your legs." Well, 37 years later, I moved back to Utah. Sister Cannon passed on soon after she said that to me, and we have always believed that she became our guardian angel and greatest supporter from up in heaven. But we worked hard over all those years, and I can't tell you that story. Eventually, because of what I was trying to do on my own, a foundation was organized, the Foundation for Indian Development. My father did it. He ran it as a volunteer for the last 14 years of his life, and he was a major contributor. And then when he was gone, we didn't know what to do. And but Toby Pingree had already begun helping a lot. C.J. Grosbeck, that I'm sure many of you know, became involved, and we have continued over all these years. And you'll have to, if you're interested, I'll give you a card, and you can go to the website and see what this is all about. But it did work, by the way. Let me just say that there was this feeling among that group that night, 45 years ago. Hey, this is a good idea, but we've got young families, we can't do it, we can't take the risk. You go, if it works, we'll follow. I'm here to tell you, it's worked. And I can't tell you that story. You'll have to go to the website. Soon we'll have a new website. It's for the new foundation. We'll change the name again. It's called the Guatemalan Foundation now. So if you're interested, ask me for a card or give me a little slip of paper with your address, and you'll be on our mailing list. But let me just say one thing. We have built many schools. We're operating schools. We have a school in Patricia that we've been operating for 22 years. Today in Guatemala, all the teachers, government teachers, are on strike. The government has failed to provide school materials for the schools in the country. But our schools are not on strike. Last week, okay, that's it. If you're interested, talk to me afterwards and I'll give you a card, and then we can be in touch with you. But thanks a lot.
I went to Central America in 1953. My name is Toby Pingree, Elder J. Frederick Pingree. I served just in Guatemala City for 27 of the 30 months I was there. And the trip was fortunate to be able to travel throughout Central America. And I knew every missionary that came through in that time. And some of them reminded me that I had met them, but I didn't remember. But but I knew them all at one time, anyway. That Elder Homestead, Kay Homestead and I went down together, and we said many times that 2.5 years of our life was the most influential time in our lives. I believe that. For the wonderful companions I had, por la gracia de los hermanos Pérez y Rivas, estamos muy agradecidos por lo que nos han dado en esto. I'm here to make a straight-out pitch for what Cordell talked about. I've been involved with this foundation of his for almost 40 years now. I gave him money when he bought his first bull, didn't I, Cordell?
Right.
That's right, when he bought the first one. And I've been on the board for a long time. And we do a lot of good things down there. In 1987, I went down, or 88, I went down, and they took me up to the school in Potsdam, where I've been supporting for a long time, helping to support. I mean, I don't support a lot of support, but I've been helping to support. And how impressed I was with those kids were, our contribution of less than $100 a piece per student. Those kids were going to school, they wouldn't be going to school if we weren't doing it. And when I was a missionary down there, I knew, or vowed, I was going to go back and do something for the country, go back and live there, work there. Well, I faded out on that, didn't do it, but this has been kind of my way to do something about it, to help this foundation do it for help, provide some way of helping move people along in Guatemala. I'm grateful for it. And I would ask that you all think some about it. It's a way that you can go back to your time down there and remember when you're a missionary down there, how you vowed you were going to do something for people. Well, here's a chance to do it. We need your help. Thanks.